All the holidays suck.
Surely you can't mean that.
He does mean that disembodied voice.
Yeah, I mean, look at Valentine's Day.
I bet you're just upset that you couldn't get a date.
It's not just that.
Yeah, look at any of the holidays. Halloween with the candy, Christmas with all the toys, St. Patrick's Day with the booze, and Easter with, well, the candy you get. There's no celebration, there's no joy, just commercialism.
What about New Year's?
Nobody even remembers New Year's.
Well, what if I were to tell you there was a commercially driven holiday you could all get behind? A commercial holiday that we can reclaim as a day of pure joy. That's right, it's...
The Game Master.
That's right, kids, it's GM Day, an internet meme turned excuse to sell RPGs, and now, with a little help from all of us, a gamer holiday that we can all celebrate and enjoy. So, it's time to give your GM some love, give them your thanks, and celebrate good gaming. And of course, there's the discounts. Plenty of stores, particularly online ones, have great deals for RPGs on this day.
Sweet.
But, more importantly than any of that, today is the day when the new School of Gaming is going to teach you a thing or two about being a GM.
Faces filled with joy and cheer, what a magical time of year.
Lesson 1, fear not. Players are like dogs. They can smell fear, and if they get so much as a whiff, they'll tear you limb from limb. Dogs don't do that. Dumbass. No, but players are. Whatever. Hey, E, think of algorithms.
Algorithms? Not algorithms!
But really, don't be afraid. Being a GM isn't nearly as difficult as some people make it out to be. The GM's function is to make the story interesting, to make it run. And he gets to do this by truly being the master of the game. He controls everything. All the other characters running around in the world, all the supernatural events and natural disasters, everything bends to his will to make the story as good as it can be. Yes?
So the GM is like God?
Oh, yes. One of the great selling points of being a GM is you get to play the villains. Oh, let's face it, villains are always cooler than the heroes. We all know they get the best scenes, the best lines, and the best musical numbers. So when you're playing a villain, don't be afraid to ham it up a bit. Make the players remember you. And if you do it right, make them fear you. The GM gets to create and control all the different obstacles and enemies and challenges that the heroes have to face. Yes, I shall have the power. I shall be a god! Huh.
We don't have the lightning special effect yet.
Which brings us neatly to our next point. Learn to improvise. Yeah, that's right. No matter how much preparation you do, no matter how good the adventure book you're using is, players are going to run roughshod over it. They are going to take your train and run it right off the tracks. So you'd better design a train that can go without tracks. You're going to have to learn to make stuff up and to do it quickly. Make flash judgments, instant decisions, and when you can't, tell your players to buy yourself a little time. If you come up to a rule and you don't really know what it means or what the rules say about a situation, make something up. Make a quick judgment call and keep moving.
Doesn't that defeat the point of rules?
Rules should always be taken as guidelines. You see, if you have to stop the game in order to look up what happens in a certain situation, it's going to slow things down. You really don't want that to happen. So, you make a quick ruling, go with it for the rest of the game, and after the session, look it up and check so you'll have a future reference. Try to know the rules off the top of your head, but if you don't, you really don't want to have to stop everything to look it up. Yes, all shall obey my rulings. Unless they are utterly convinced that you are wrong, good players will usually accept the ruling and move on for the time being. However, this brings up another point. Impartiality. You need to be fair. Characters are not just there for you to toy with as you will, and neither are the players. They're there to have a good time and to enjoy themselves. So, when they do something intelligent or heroic, you reward them. When they do something spiteful or stupid, you punish them. But it doesn't matter. You don't play favorites. You don't pick people you just want to kill. You play fair. Remember, this is a story you're telling together, not a chance for you to go on a complete power trip. All shall die before me! No! Bad Goth! Your job as a GM is not to kill the players. You are not the adversary. You control the adversaries, but you also control the allies in the fortunate events. You are the fair judge. Your objective is not to kill everyone. Certain games excluded. Nextly, know your players. This is vital. Talk to your players. Get to understand what kind of games they like, what kind of genres and settings and tones they like, what kind of stories. The last thing you want to do is take a group who's expecting a good old-fashioned dungeon crawl and take them into an urban setting where it's all about politics and intrigue. They will not have fun. And if they don't have fun, you're not going to have fun, and they're not going to come back. So, find out what they like and try and give it to them. Make a story that is interesting to them.
What if there are players with problems?
Yeah, like players that try to kill each other. Ow!
Have a conversation, like two responsible adults. If you cannot reconcile your problems, it's time to part ways. Even if they're your friend, you'll have to kick them out of the game. It's just the way it works. After all, it would be terrible to have to drag everybody's fun through the gutters just because you can't say no to one person. Finally, one I think a lot of GMs actually forget: know yourself. I understand the game is very much about making the players happy. It's their story, you're there to help tell it. But here's the thing. A lot of GMs and players get into the mindset that the GM's job is to make sure the players are having fun. This isn't true. The GM's job is to make sure everyone in the group is having fun, and that includes the GM. So if you're a game master, make sure you're enjoying the game. All right then, any questions?
Yes, where'd the goth go?
Huh. That's weird. Here a minute ago. Die! Yes! Now I am the Game Master! I think it's time we showed you all the Tomb of Horror! I'm afraid you've forgotten just one thing. And what was that? Your only red clearance. Greetings, citizens. Are you happy? Need I remind you, happiness is mandatory?
Algorithms? Not algorithms! No! 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 No!
Shut up.
That hurts so bad.
No!